we live in a corrupt, totally corrupt system. And yet from their point of view at the top, it's not corrupt at all. This is their system, so it's not corrupt. It's our fault if we believe in it, you see. It's like getting an inoculation. When you get an inoculation, there's a term, it's called, has it taken? And sometimes they'll test you to see if it's taken. And that's what they're talking about with the public. Has your indoctrination taken? And unfortunately, with the scientific indoctrination that Bertrand Russell talked about in Education and the Good Life back in the early 1900s through experimental schooling in kindergarten, he said we can indoctrinate the child with 3 or 4 hours per day with scientific means so thoroughly that the parents will have no input whatsoever. Whatever moral values, they call them contaminated values, by the way, because they're now obsolete, that if the parents try to pass on to the children would have no effect, because those children would be put through a scientific indoctrination. And we see it today. We see the parents wondering why the children won't listen to them. And we saw the communists, with a memory, if you remember what communists were, where they used to say that don't trust anybody over 30. That's what the children were taught. Well, now it's dropping all the time. Just don't trust your parents even, because they know nothing. When they changed the method of multiplication and reading and writing in the schools, that was deliberate. We see the effects of it today. The children can't spell. They don't know grammar. That was changed in the 1970s deliberately, so that parents couldn't help their children with homework. Because if they could help them, the child might start to have some respect, but know that the teacher, you see, it was the teacher who had to take that respect and receive it from the child. And they made sure that the parents were unable to help the children with their homework, and even their methods of division, multiplication were all changed. So this was intentional, scientifically, you see, as Bertrand Russell said. We have to think about words and terms and meanings in this world in which we live. Whenever a bill is put forth, you must question what it really means. And don't ever take it for granted you think it's meant for someone else. That's, like I say, it was like that bill, a perfect example, the rights of the child, United Nations. No one thought it would mean that the parents would have no rights. This is the chessboard. This is the great chessboard. The chessboard is played on you all the time. That's why in the big high lodges like the Skull and Bones, and that's not that high actually, if you're a worker at all, working towards the great work, you're still not the boss in the boss class, the guardian class. But in the Skull and Bones Society, even in the movies they put out, they show you one place it's called the War Room. And it's written on the wall, because the scheme and the war is always on the public. In the higher noble orders, you'll find they call the people all kinds of names, not just the unwashed masses. That's the more cleanly, hygienic term they use. That's been well known for a long time, but they call it animals and cattle. And that's just a fact, because they know we're not conscious. We've all been through the system designed to keep us unconscious, to be hypnotics who just drift through each day, being downloaded by the news, the media, listen to see who the latest sex kitten is, these come sex kittens, and what actors falling out